The envelope was yellowed, old. Elena turned it over and over in her hands. There was no return address, only a strange insignia she didn't recognize. It was like nothing she'd ever seen. A shiver ran down her spine. What was this? She hadn't been expecting anything. Curiosity overwhelmed her. Elena tore open the envelope. Inside, a single sheet of paper. The ink was faded, spidery. It spoke of a hidden truth, a forgotten legacy. It urged her to find it before the next full moon. The letter disturbed her. It was unsettling, strange. Elena tried to dismiss it. Junk mail, she thought, a prank. But the words clung to her. They whispered in her dreams. The insignia on the envelope seemed to burn in her mind. Elena knew she couldn't ignore it. She had to know more. The letter mentioned a place called Blackwood Grove, a starting point. With a deep breath, Elena decided to go. The woods were dark, even in the daytime. Ancient oaks twisted towards the sky, their branches heavy with moss. Elena shivered. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and decaying leaves. The letter mentioned an old oak, the largest one. It was supposed to be easy to find. Elena wandered through the woods, her unease growing with every step. She felt watched, hunted. But by what? Then she saw it, the oak. It was enormous, its trunk wider than a car. Its branches seemed to claw at the sky. Elena approached cautiously, her heart pounding. This was the place. As she drew closer, she saw a glint of metal. Half hidden in the gnarled roots of the oak, there was a small tarnished silver key. The first key, the letter had called it. Elena reached out and took it. The key was cold in her hand. It was heavy, old, but where did it lead? The letter had mentioned a stone archway, a gateway. Elena searched the grove, her eyes scanning every shadow, every tree. She stumbled through the undergrowth, her frustration growing. Was she going crazy? This whole thing felt like madness. But something drove her forward. Something in the back of her mind whispered that this was important, that she had to see it through. And then she saw it. Half hidden by vines and overgrown with moss, there it was, a stone archway, ancient and imposing. It seemed to emanate a strange energy, a palpable hum that sent shivers down her spine. The first key, the archway. There had to be a connection. Elena approached cautiously, her hand trembling as she held up the key. Section 4. The stone archway. Elena hesitated at the foot of the archway. There was an inscription carved into the stone above. The language was archaic, unknown, but she felt a strange pull, a sense of recognition, as if some part of her already understood. Suddenly, a voice, low, gravelly, looking for something. Elena whirled around. Standing in the shadows was a figure, cloaked and hooded, their face obscured. Elena's heart pounded. Friend or foe? The figure stepped forward. The key, they rasped, holding out a hand. Elena hesitated. Could she trust them? The figure seemed to sense her fear. "I mean you no harm," they said, their voice softer now. "I am here to help." Elena decided to trust her instincts. She placed the key in the figure's outstretched hand. The figure examined it closely, then nodded. "This is only the beginning," they said. "There is much more to uncover." Section 5. The Chamber of Secrets. The figure led Elena through a series of hidden passages, twisting tunnels lit by flickering torches. The air grew heavy, the silence broken only by the sound of their footsteps echoing on the stone floor. They finally arrived at a large circular chamber. The chamber was breathtaking. Ancient symbols glowed on the walls, illuminated by an unseen light source. In the center of the room stood a stone pedestal upon which rested a book that seemed to pulsate with power. The figure turned to Elena. "This is what you seek," they said, their voice echoing in the vast chamber. "The truth about your past, your lineage. But be warned, this knowledge comes with a price." Elena stepped forward, her hand trembling as she reached for the book. As her fingers brushed the cover, the symbols on the walls flared, bathing the chamber in an ethereal light. And then it hit her, a wave of knowledge, of memories not her own. She saw her ancestors, powerful beings who had guarded a secret for generations, a secret that was now hers to protect. The figure nodded, a flicker of sadness in their eyes. "You are the last of your line, Elena," they said. "The fate of this knowledge, this legacy, now rests with you." Elena looked down at the book, her heart pounding. She didn't know what lay ahead, what dangers she might face. But one thing was certain. She would not fail her ancestors. She would protect their secret, their legacy, with her life. If you enjoyed this journey with Elena, don't forget to subscribe for more adventures.